It is a common practice in Gongfu tea to rinse the leaves with hot water before brewing them for drinking. But why are the leaves washed? Should you rinse your tea? All of them? The answers in this video. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from nannuoshan, where we share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. If you're new here in our channel and you are also looking to expand your tea knowledge and brewing skills, then make sure to click on the subscribe button. And don't forget to give us the thumbs up if at any point of time you enjoy watching. Today we want to discuss about a very old practice in tea, in Gongfu cha, the practice of rinsing the leaves before actually starting brewing them for drinking. This is a very old habit, and as every habit in this world, it is really a matter of opinion, right? So some people do, some other not, and today I want to share with you actually which are the main reasons that people bring about when they are asked, why do you actually rinse your tea? So I say there are some common thoughts about that, but that doesn't mean that really everyone does it. And also there are maybe different reasons why people do that in China or do that in the Western world. So I want to give you a little bit an overview about the different places also in the world and different approaches. At the end, I will also tell you what I do with my tea and what I suggest you doing with yours. So first of all, I want to bring you an example just to show you that it's not really every tea expert really rinsing their leaves. I have a very good friend of mine. She is a Taiwanese oolong tea expert, and she really brewed tea, especially Taiwan oolong, to perfection. And when I asked her, what do you do with your leaves? She told me that actually she never rinses green tea, white tea, even not oolong tea, no matter if it is fresh or aged. The only thing that she really rinses is pu'er. And so you see that actually even in China and even very expert people don't really rinse their tea, but most of the people do. So which are the main reasons? I would say there are mainly two reasons why people rinse their leaves. The first one is cleaning. Why? What do I mean with that? You know that tea grows to a certain processing of the leaves, and with that I want to actually start drinking my tea. I will do a rinse of this tea, and I say that there are different reasons. Cleaning is one, and the reason why you want to clean your tea is because it has gone from the time it was on the tree until it will reach the final product. It has been gone through several steps of processing. It's also maybe there is some tea dust in it. So in a way, giving a quick rinse like I'm doing now with very hot water is also a way of cleaning it. And this way I'm also actually warming up all my TEAWARE. So let's do like that. You see I used a waste container, and this waste container is really meant to be used for that one reason, just to put the wasted water in it. So the more steps you have in the processing of the tea, the more important it is to give it a cleaning. And also the older the tea is, the more important it is to cleaning. But the cleaning itself is not only a practice that is brought about for cleaning really the leaves itself, but also for taste. I'll show you here one reason. Warming up the TEAWARE, very fragrant bouquet style dancong I have here in my gaiwan. But you know that in the pot there are also, in the gaiwan in this case, there are also tiny pieces, a little bit of dust, a little bit of broken leaves, and those are not very good for steeping because they bring out very quickly also bitterness. In this case, I'm not even using a strainer. What does it mean? It means that everything goes into the pitcher. So what I do with this first rinse, you pour with the first water also a little bit of that dust, most of it actually, and those tiny pieces that then ends up in the waste container, and they won't influence any longer your steeping in your gaiwan. Well, another reason why people do wash their leaves is to wake up the tea. What do I mean with that? It's no more about cleaning here, it's about really waking it up. As I told you before, the tea is originally live on the tree plant, and it goes to a lot of processing. In a way, the leaves die, and you want to bring them back to life by waking them up. And you can do that with a rinse. There are other people, for example, the person I was telling you before, the Taiwanese tea expert, she does it with her oolong. She doesn't want to waste the taste, so she doesn't do a rinse, but what she does, she warm up an empty gaiwan, she put the leaves inside, then she shake the gaiwan, and this way she warm up the leaves. So it's a way really to bring the tea back to life, also according to an ancient Chinese say that goes like that: tea shall be treated like life. By the way, the practice of putting leaves in a hot gaiwan and shaking the gaiwan to wake them up is also relatively common in Wuishan, and I was told by some farmers they do that in Wuishan for especially, I would say, especially in winter. So when the climate is cold, basically, you wake the tea, you warm up the tea before brewing it. Now you see that the different reasonings that I brought to you, the cleaning and the wake up, are a little bit of different nature. So one is more a scientific approach. The tea is not very clean, it's dusty, I want to clean it. And another one is a more mystical, maybe philosophical approach. I want to bring the tea back to life. Both this reasoning goes back to a common root cause, which is the fact that the teas has been gone through several steps during processing. And in the second aspect, when we say the waking up, people even bring about some rhetorical figure like the association of tea with life. And it's a completely different approach than saying I want just to clean my leaves, but nonetheless you see that at the very end everyone does it for the same reason, because the tea was processed, it's not super fresh. Now let me drink a little bit. Look how pale it is. It's actually a Xingren-shan, but it is a bouquet style Xingren-shan, very, very green. Very good. And also lilies, I mean, we're not speaking that topic, but you see they are fairly green actually. All right, anyway, what I wanted to tell you that when we speak about waking up the tea, another aspect that it brought about is that the first taste of the tea doesn't come out very easily. So you need to help the tea to bring out that first taste, that the good taste, yeah? So you have to wake him up, waste the first water, and with that first water you let water entering the leaves, moisturizing the leaves, and in this way they are able to bring out more taste, the right taste. So these are all reasoning. I say it is not necessarily my opinion, right? I've done several interviews. I mean, of course, I heard over the years many people. These are the different reasons that people bring about in China. What about the Western world? The Western world, Europe, America, have of course been influenced by the Chinese. Gongfu tea come from there, and with that came also all this tradition about washing the leaves. But sometimes, relatively often actually, in the Western world, another aspect is brought about, and it is to clean the leaves from residues, from pesticides, from fertilizer. Now, let's first of all say one important thing. Even organic food, even organic tea is not free of pesticides, it's not free of fertilizer. It has a low amount of them, but they are allowed. Otherwise, people could not really do agriculture and cropping. Yeah, it's very hard. But that's the reason why you wash your salad, right? You wash your salad just to clean it a little bit from those residues that might have remained there from the processing. And for the same reason, you might do that for tea. Well, for tea, you are not going to eat tea, and you don't need 300-400 grams of leaves. You just use a few grams and you steep them instead of eating. So for sure, the rinsing is more important for salad than for tea. but if it doesn't hurt, why not? So now, let's look, we're spoken generally now, right? I didn't tell you about green tea, about white tea, about oolong, about pu'er. I just spoke in general about the reasoning, but let's look at the single types of tea and what people do with those. Let's take, for example, green tea. Green tea is fresh, is barely processed. You even, very fresh green tea, you even keep it in the fridge to keep it fresh. You don't need, it's very alive. You don't need to wake him up to make him bring it back to life again because it's already alive. So there is less a reason for rinsing it. And for this very reason, people don't usually rinse it. On top of that, the yield of brewing green tea is not very high. Usually you get with gong cha out of a green tea, you get maybe 3-4 steepings, not more than that. So you don't really want to waste that first steeping. You waste also a lot of taste with it. What about white tea? Well, white tea, is something in between. If the white tea is extremely fresh, then is similar to the green tea. It's not very processed, it's very fresh, you don't really need to rinse it. But if it starts to be aged, even a few years, people tend to wash it. So also here, you see a little bit of both. Black tea is usually rinsed. Everyone pretty much rinses black tea. Maybe an exception is ginjumei, because ginjumei, it is buds only, it is a delicate tea, the leaves are delicate, are tender, fragile. It is a little bit associated with green tea, not because the processing is the same, but because it's delicate, and so there is the tendency of not rinsing ginjumei. But on the other side, if we look at semi-oxidized tea, aged oolong, then most of the time actually are rinsed. I told you before, an exception, not everyone does, but usually they are rinsed, and the same is actually valid for pu'er. I have to tell you, even especially for very aged pu'er and shu pu'er, people tend to rinse long. I even saw people rinsing a shu pu'er 3 times before starting drinking it. So very different approaches there. What do I do? Very simple. I tend not to rinse green tea. I never rinse green tea unless it is aged, and I rinse all the rest. I do exceptions though, just based on my feeling. Sometimes I want to experiment. I want to try a tea with and without rinsing to see which is the difference. But I would say 90% of my tea, which are not 90% of the time, if it is not a green tea, I would give it a rinse. And what should you do at this point? Well, what I suggest doing is asking yourself the question, what is more important for you? Cleaning, waking up? I know that you know the answer in your head. Both have not the same importance. Maybe you are more of a meditative person and you have more tend to associate also tea with life, and you want to wake the tea, bring him back to life. Or maybe you are more concerned about pesticide, about fertilizer, about dust. You want to remove that. You want to remove those particles so that your tea tastes better. Once you know that, you know also if you really want to rinse your tea. Could be that both topics are not of interest for you, or both are. And at that point, you should not just go straight and do everything the same way. You want to look at the state of the tea. You want to ask yourself, this specific tea, does it need to be cleaned? I want to clean it or not? And with that, I also suggest to try both, right? If you have enough tea, why not trying with rinse, without rinse, and see if there is a difference? You can even do parallel tasting to really be sure you are not in a different mood when you taste the tea and it is really steeped in the same way with the same quantity, and see if it makes a difference for you. Say that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, that's very important for us, and go ahead, subscribe our channel if you haven't done it yet. Thanks a lot for watching, stay tuned for more video, and I will see you at the next one. Bye guys.